Brighton don't move in the market without a clear profile in mind, and Saïd El Mala, he fits a very specific one. This isn't just about adding another young talent, it's about identifying a player whose attributes align with how Brighton want to build and attack. In this video, I'm breaking down who El Mala is, what stands out in his profile, and why Brighton see him as a player worth pursuing. Welcome back to the Louis Selling YouTube channel. I am back once again after a couple of weeks with no upload. Apologies for that. I've been back to university for the start of semester 2, so it's been a bit busy getting back into the flow of things, but we are back. I've been a little bit under the weather as well, so I didn't want to put a video out where I'm coughing every few seconds. But from next week, we'll be back to hopefully 2 uploads a week. We'll see how it goes, but there will 100% be at least one every week. But as you can see from the intro and the title, this video is all about Saïd El Mala and why Brighton want to sign him and why they tried to sign him in the January transfer window, having a bid of around £30 million rejected for the young German winger whose contract runs until 2030. The deal would have also involved his brother Malik El Mala, who would have gone into the Seagulls under-21 squad to be developed there. So if you want a video on him, let me know in the comments below and I'll put one out next week. But this one is all about Saïd, who, as I said, is a young German winger, a left winger. That's his main position. Can play out front, can play in the 10, can play slightly deeper as the left mid, and of course can play on the opposite side. But a high percentage of his games have come on that left-hand side. And from his profile, this is the perfect position for him. But we will look at his player traits to get a quick idea, basic idea of the sort of player he is. He's in the 99th percentile for shots attempted compared to attacking midfielders and wingers, and he's in the 98th percentile for goals. He's a difference maker. He's a player who likes to get that ball, drive towards that box, get shots away from a very, very different place that we don't really see anymore, which catches the keeper out, and a lot of the time they do find the back of the net. He also stands at just over 6 foot tall, so in that regard he's very, very similar to Tommy Watson, who has just joined Millwall on loan. And if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. I'll leave the link below. But Saïd El Mala, just over 6 feet tall, 72nd percentile for aerial duels won, so he's very, very good at heading the ball and winning the ball in the air, which is great if his opposite winger or fullback puts a cross into the box. He can make that difference at the back post, whether he's getting a header on target or putting it back across that box. It can be a real big difference. His heading ability also allows him to be very unique in terms of how he holds the ball up and how he links the play. It gives a bit more license for the back line to put balls over the top. He's more likely to get on the end of them and make something happen. If we look at his shot map, from 44 shots in the Bundesliga this season, the 25-26 season, he's got 43% on target, which is just under half, so not bad at all for a young player who is still pretty raw. 7 goals from 6.36 XG, so he's outperforming that XG by just over half. If you look at the shot map itself, most, if not all, of his shots and goals have come from that left-hand side, cutting in and getting those shots away from just outside or just inside the box. A long shot is something that is a dying art in football. Not many people attempt it anymore. Maybe that's a player thing, maybe that's a manager thing. I'm not entirely sure. It's a high risk, high reward thing. But when you do shoot from distance, most of the time it usually goes in because the keeper isn't expecting it, or it rebounds, you get a corner, someone can be there to tap it in, and it ends up being that winning goal, which can be the difference between relegation, staying up, getting European football, or winning the league. So it's something that he's very, very good at and something that could be a really, really useful tool for Brighton. If we look at his per 90 stats from 22 Bundesliga games this season, just over 1,000 minutes, which is quite surprising. He hasn't played too many minutes. He's only started 9 of those 22 games, which he himself isn't very happy about, apparently, and handed in a transfer request when Brighton's bid did come in. But from, I don't want to say limited minutes, because he still played a fair, decent amount, but not as much as he should be. 0.61 goals per 90, very, very good, puts him right at the top. Expected goals, 0.52, again, puts him right at the top. Most of the time, he's scoring. XG on target, 0.52 as well. Non-penalty XG, 0.52. Again, doesn't take penalties. Shots, 3.8 per 90. I really, really like this stat. In total, 44 shots, as I said. If you don't shoot, you don't score. The more shots you get on target, the more shots you get away, the more chance of something happening. Shots on target, 1.64 per 90. So just under half of those shots he takes go on target, which is not a bad ratio at all. So shooting wise, he's right up there with the best for his category. The more he develops, the better he will get, and he could be one of Germany's biggest talents, and maybe, who knows, one of their best ever players. And he could potentially take over from Matoma for Brighton, which is big shoes to fill, but from watching him, I have high hopes. As for passing, he's not the type of winger who gets too many assists or passes too often. Just the 0.17 assists per 90 this season. Expected assists as well, 0.12, so very, very low. Successful passes as well, 72%. Not bad at all. A decent-ish return there. Maybe needs to improve that slightly in the Premier League, as if he does give passes away in some dangerous positions, it could be deadly. Big chances created, 0.86 per 90. Maybe something else that he can improve as well. But if you look at these screenshots and clips in a minute, he's so dangerous. So that isn't a stat that's too concerning, because he doesn't necessarily create a big chance. He creates a chance from nothing that usually ends up as a goal. He's not one to really cross the ball too often, which from Brighton perspective isn't that big of an issue, because we haven't really got anyone in the box that is going to get on the end of it and get a header on target. Danny Welbeck can do that, but a lot of the time it doesn't end up in that area, and I've only seen him score 1 or 2 headers recently. So El Mala not being that keen on crossing isn't a problem at all. Possession wise, this is where we really see the type of player he is. 2.59 successful dribbles per 90, right up there. 41%, maybe can improve that a little bit, but he's trying it a bit more. He's trying to get on that ball, make things happen, which I absolutely love to see. And that's the sort of player that Brighton needs, someone that's going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and do it on their own and make things happen. Jules 1, just over 6 per 90. He's a player that works hard, he presses, he tracks back, and that is so important for a Brighton team. Touches in the opposition box, 7.52 per 90, right up there. He gets in the box, he makes things happen, his close control is absolutely superb, and this all just points to him being a difference maker. Defending, possession 1 in the final third, 0.95 per 90, as we will see in a minute as well. His pressing, his tracking back, his ability to win the ball is right up there, and really good to see. If we have a look at his heat map, he's very similar to Tommy Watson, as I said. All that red is on that left-hand side. He's on that touchline, dribbling with the ball, committing the defender, and then he cuts inside, gets in that corner of the box, as you can see on the left-hand side, gets shots away, and as I said many times, makes things happen. So that is just his stats, a little bit about the sort of player he is. But now let's jump over to my favourite part, the media drawer, and have a look at some real-world examples. So, first of all these screenshots and clips were taken from FS Scout. I'll leave the link to the channel and the video in the description below, so go and check them out. A really good channel with so many good videos on different young players. But we'll go through Saïd El Mala's dribbling first, then his shooting, then his pressing ability, tackling ability, and then his hold up play. The first thing you notice here with his dribbling is his body position and his close control. Really nice small touches that commit the defender, and very importantly, puts him in control at all times, and that's really important to remember. If you take anything away from this video, is that Saïd El Mala is in control of everything he does at all times. Has a really nice low body position, means he can turn either way. He takes a really nice first touch here, as you can see. He then takes the ball down the line. His first thought is to go forward, as you can see here, the way he's touching the ball, commits that defender, comes back, and he takes a lovely outside of the foot touch, something that he does very often, as you will see in here. Takes that touch quickly, a little snap touch inside, chops it back to commit the defender, get between this defender here, this defender here. He's now away from them. Another really, really nice touch here with his laces. This lace touch sort of pushes the ball away, lets him take an extra step to control himself, slow himself down, get that balance back, as you can see here. Another one with the outside of the foot to push the ball away from this defender here to create a lovely little bit of space. The next example is very, very similar. Ball comes to him out wide on this left-hand side. First thought is to get in the box, get forward and make something happen. As you can see here, if I magnify it, nice touch with the laces again to push that ball out of his feet. Another touch here, now with the laces slightly outside to push that ball in this direction here. He wants to sort of trick the defenders to go this way so then he can change direction, or vice versa. Defender goes this way, he goes this way. He decides to take that step to the left here. This is really, really important. Takes a dummy step, which means the defender's body weight is shifted to his right-hand side or El Mala's left-hand side, which means he's off balance. El Mala can take a really, really nice sharp touch. The defender's body position here, as you can see, he's over the top of his centre of mass, which means he's leaning this way, falling this way, which gives El Mala a few milliseconds to take the ball past the defender, which he does here with another nice touch. Gets low, he's really, really agile with his movement, and he's gone. He's past him here, as you can see. Takes another nice touch. Defender, very, very difficult to recover from this position. His body weight here is now planted on this right-hand side, which means he can't turn back as quickly as El Mala is going to get past him. Difficult to see here from the post, but defender is gone. Leaning this way still, he takes another really, really nice touch in here, and then he sets himself to get a shot away. But as you can see from all of these examples here, he has really, really nice close control. So many touches in. This clip is not even seconds, maybe 1 second, just over a second, and he gets away from the defender and leaves him with a really, really nice bit of space to get a shot away, which we'll come to in a minute. The next example is him slightly wider on this left-hand side. That body position, again, is open, which means he has control of what he's going to do. And he also manipulates and controls what the defender is going to do. And it means he himself has a few options. He knows this man here. I believe that is Rocco Rice, another player that Brighton are interested in, apparently. Ball is here, is in between his legs, so he can either touch it with his right foot, with the outside of his boot again to come back, or he can use his left foot to push it forward down the line and use his speed to get away from the defender here. He decides to use his right foot to touch it with the inside and push it down the line here, as you can see just in here. Defender can't make a reckless tackle because it will be a foul, a booking, or El Mala would just skip past him and be in so much space. He uses his left foot now to push the ball inside past that defender. You can see the arm here starts to come out to hold the defender off, which means he is in control. He will determine what happens from this situation. Now uses the outside of his boot to cut back in this situation. So from here, he's made the defender think that he's going to go down the line by the way he's used his body. That back leg is extended, pushing off to make it look like he's going to try and run past him down the line. The way he's using his toe here to just push the ball slightly in front really, really does well there. He then cuts back with the outside here, then cuts back again with the inside. It is fantastic play. Really, really nice close control. Again, puts it the other side of this defender, then goes again with the outside of his right boot to put him in this situation here. Two defenders coming in, both of them committing. He's got through them. The box is just down here. You can't quite see it. Pushes the ball through him, gets himself in this situation. Here, a foul is given away. Both of them take him down, and he's won a free kick for his team in a really, really dangerous area of the pitch. The ball can be whipped in now to the back post for a header or even a shot on target. So two examples there of his close control. In a matter of seconds, he's moved that defender around, slowed him down. He's moved quickly, gone one way, gone the other way, and just been an absolute nightmare and a really, really tricky player to defend against. But he's very, very different to the likes of like Alan St. Maximin, who, yes, he does stuff like this, but he himself doesn't really have much control. He doesn't really know what he's going to do, whereas El Mala knows exactly what he's going to do. He does it quickly, efficiently, effectively, and he creates chances, whether that's winning a foul or getting inside the box. Another one here, quite similar. This touch here I really, really love. He's on the move, he's going quick. He takes a lovely deft touch here, as you can see, just from the end of his toe to keep the ball on that touchline and compose himself, calm himself down, and then see what happens. Takes that outside of the boot touch to put himself inwards towards that goal again. Now the ball is on the touchline, he can do a few things. Continues to come inside here, as you can see, a really, really nice outside the boot touch. That slowing down then going quick again means this defender here, as you can see, is decelerating from his body position. His front leg is straight. He's sort of jogging here, then suddenly El Mala comes inside and he's on a full sprint again, but he's already past him, as you can see here. Takes another outside of the foot touch in here, which means he can then come this way, and this defender is going to have to come through him and take him out, and he's not going to win the ball. He's now inside of the box. He's past the defender. He's got a little bit of space. Takes another outside of the boot touch to come this way. And if he pulls it off, look at all the space here that he is in to then try and get a shot away into this top corner here or into this far corner. Takes a inside of the foot touch here. A little bit of manipulation there of the defender. Defender does win the ball, but it's again him coming inside the box and trying to make things happen. Does lose it. But if it comes off, high risk, high reward, a shot will be taken and something will happen. He doesn't just go on the inside though. He also has a very, very good ability to go on the outside. This example here in another Bundesliga game. The ball is here at his feet. He slowed that defender down. Here, as you can see, he's decelerating. He has full control of what happens. His open body position means he knows what you can see here. He can see both options that he has. He knows he can put a ball back here, or he knows he can fizz a ball in here, or he knows the space that he has here to then cut the ball back to a dangerous area. To be honest, he could even take a shot. Very, very difficult. He knows the keeper's positioning, so it may be something that he could consider, and he has the ability to do so. Takes a really, really nice first touch here. Defender is off balance. He's in control. He's slowing him down still. Then bang, out his foot, that acceleration to get to that byline, and then knows where his two players are here. Takes a nice first touch, as I said. Another one here, and now he is away from that defender. It's just a foot race. He's very, very quick. Not as quick as your Rashfords or your Matomas, but he has that quick change of speed, which means he can get in front. And him being so tall and strong means he can use that arm to get in front of that defender here. As you can see, hold them off, and then he knows where his teammates are just from having that vision, having that look around the pitch. He knows what's happening, has that scan, puts a really, really nice inside of the foot cross in here. He's trying to aim for this man here, doesn't quite come off. If this striker here is just a step more forward, look at a Brighton team, for example, Stefanos Zimas, Babis Kostelas, Danny Welbeck will probably be in this position here, slightly forward, and they'll be able to get a sweep shot into this far corner. Just misses the player here as he's on the run, but it does find its way to this man at the back post who puts it into an empty net. So he doesn't just go on the inside, he does have that ability to take his man on the outside, slow them down, and then quickly change speed, accelerate, get past them, use his arm. Another example here, slightly different. He's now deeper, which means he's sort of parallel with that byline. As you can see here, takes a touch, moves from here to here in a matter of not even seconds. Again, uses that acceleration. Player coming in here, he knows where he is, takes this touch in here. Again, that laces touch, you know what that means. He's going to try and just push it out his feet here. He knows that there's so much space here because the defendant is quite poor in this situation. Two-man here, uses that arm again. It comes out, as you can see there, and he holds his man off, which means he gets himself past, and he's in this space here. Uses that acceleration again, tries to go with the outside of his boot here to push it back into this position here. Defender does block it, nothing comes from it, but again, it's that ability to go either way, change direction. A lot of wingers nowadays are very, very one-footed. They like to either go outside or just come inside, which can be effective, but once they're found out, it's very, very easy to defend. So that is it for his dribbling. As I said, very, very dynamic player, can do many, many different things, can go either way, and he will make things happen. Now, for the shooting, this is the second example that I showed you here, with his nice ball control, going inside, outside, making things happen. We go back to it in here. The ball comes to him, and he's now in this situation. The way he's pushed that ball away, as I said in the second example, to create this pocket of space here. Really, really nice shooting technique. Uses the inside of his boot to curl it into that top corner off the crossbar. It is a brilliant finish through a few bodies of the crossbar and into that top corner. But the most important thing here isn't just his striking ability, it's how he used his body and his quick movement to make this much space in the box. It doesn't look like too much with these three defenders here, 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 and here. But in a football game, this is a lot of space, especially a high-intensity, fast-paced league like the Bundesliga. The next example is one in here. Really, really nice first touch, which we will come to in a minute. But you know already, just from these first few examples, how good his control can be. First thought, again, is to turn and drive towards that box, drive towards the goal and see what happens. He's had a look from this situation here. He knows that he's got a man here. He knows he's got an option here, and he knows he could flick it round the corner here. He decides to turn and take a really nice inside of the foot touch once again. Another outside of the foot touch here. Very, very simple, basic skill. Inside, outside, inside, outside. That's taught at a very, very early stage, but he used it so, so well, and he used it so, so quickly. That toe touch again, that lace touch again, to set himself, put himself into this space here, and then get a really, really nice shot away again. Really nice shooting technique. He's low, gets slightly under the ball, so it's got good lift, good speed, that inside of the foot, and it does just go over the crossbar. But you can use that inside, 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 outside, outside, inside, outside dribbling ability to manipulate that defender, tangle them inside out, and then drive towards that edge of the box and get that shot away. Another example here. The ball has fallen to him from another dribble. He starts around this space here. He then drives inside the box. He tries to play a pass in sort of this area. It is blocked, but it comes back to him. He continues that movement forward. Another really, really strong shooting position. This one's slightly different though. His body is open, as you can see, which makes it look like he is going to try and curl it or fire it into this far corner. That doesn't happen. At the last second, he sort of snaps his leg inside, as you can see from this next position, the way his leg is sort of coming back this way. Really, really nice finish into this top left hand corner, using the inside of his foot again. Nice control, has a lot of power on it, and it flies there. It is a fantastic finish, and his ability to go either way, shoot either way, really catches goalkeepers out. And it's something in the Premier League that, again, could be really, really effective, because not many teams like to get shots away. Another example here, very, very similar. The ball does fall back to him here from a pass that doesn't quite come off. Has his leg in a really nice shooting position again, not as far back from the other ones. Turns his shoulders at the last minute and then fires one into this top corner once again. As you can see from the final position here, his leg in here, it's slightly bent, which means he sort of snaps it at the last moment. The ball is here, and then, yeah, it goes in the top corner. It is absolutely brilliant goal. And again, very similar to Julio Enciso, who did fall out of favour at Brighton, but his few goals that he scored were so, so important, and something that is becoming more and more effective, and something that made him a difference maker while he was on the South Coast. So there's a few examples of his different shooting abilities, curling it to that far post or just drilling it into that top corner. A lot of his goals do come from lofting the ball, but that isn't just his only finishing technique, which we will see in a minute, so make sure to stick around for the end. The next thing to look at is something that's really, really important in the Premier League, with many, many managers wanting to play that high intensity style. This is very typical in the Bundesliga. He runs, he tracks back, and he defends, and he can tackle really, really well. He is this man in here. The left back or the right back in this situation has the ball. Players coming in here, he knows he's closing him down. But Saïd El Mala works really hard, gets a really, really nice tackle on him here. It's very easy, very common for an attacker to give away a foul here and kind of ruin that momentum and stop a turnover. Wins the ball here, really, really nice tackle. Really difficult to see. He does take another outside of the foot touch, which puts him here. Nice little turn, puts him into this situation here. That defender is out of the game and he has so much space. Now, he knows his man is on the outside and he knows he's got space to go there. Just from that quick tackle and that willingness to defend and track back and win the ball back, he puts his team in a really, really exciting, really, really promising situation. He's a great dribbler, as you can see. Takes a really, really nice touch there and he puts himself in this position, which gives him a few options. Can take another touch, can curl a shot, or can just lay one into there, or can maybe try and go here. So 3 or 4 options just from that one move, and a really, really dangerous position just from that willingness to defend and track back. Something that Yankuba Minte has done really, really, really well at Brighton, but having El Mala on the left-hand side means you'll have that kind of on both sides. But he does have to try and get in front of Karim Matoma, which will be really, really difficult to do, but he has the potential, he has the promise, and to be honest, Matoma hasn't been that great recently, so I could see him breaking into the starting 11 very, very quickly if he does join the club. Another example here, his ability to change direction here. The ball is bouncing around, it is moved away from this situation in here where there is 3 or 4 players, uses his quick turning ability, and he's on the right back like a flash. Uses his arm really, really well, as you can kind of see in here. Uses his speed, that determination, that willingness to push that player out the way. Really, really strong as well from him in this example. Arm comes out, continues to come out, and then now he is in full control of this situation here. Takes another really, really nice touch in here with the outside of his foot. Usually a lot of players in this situation will try and just play a ball in here to a midfielder, the centre back, or try and play it out to the right back. That is not what he does. He knows, because he's won the ball back on a counter press, on a press while his team is still high up the pitch, if he can turn here, you can see tries to take a touch here, then quickly changes it again in here with another left-footed inside turn. He now has a few options. He can then play the ball here. He can try and turn it down the line. He can try and run down the line if he really wants to. But because he has that willingness to get that ball, win it back, and then break forward straight away, it means that his team are high up the pitch and then they can make things happen while the opposition are slightly out of shape and not prepared for an attack to happen. Another example of a press now. This is against Borussia Dortmund, and I believe this player in here on the ball is Slotterbeck. He is pressing like an absolute mad man, and this is what I want to see from a young player, a winger. He has so much energy, so much running ability that if he closes a player down, yes, they may play past him, but it means they don't have as much time. And if he does win the ball, look at all the space on this right-hand side now over here. Closes him down really, really well. Doesn't give up when he turns inside. And then he gets a foot on the ball, as you can see in here. And that foot on the ball means the ball's going to be knocked this way. And as I said, look at all the space he has. Wins the ball. Ball is there. Goes past him. And he has that speed now. He's on the front foot. Slotterbeck is off balance. And he's in that space. And he can now try and make something happen. Something that Fabian Hurst promised when he came into Brighton. We haven't really seen it. Maybe that's because of player profile. Maybe that's how the team are training, which Lewis Dunk has been critical of the last few weeks. They're not training too well. Or maybe Hurst has just changed his play style. But whoever is manager next season, having El Mala will be a big, big factor for them and a big, big advantage. If it is Kieran McKenna, who has been linked to the club, I think he would work really, really well under him. He reminds me sort of a Amari Hutchinson, who was fantastic at Ipswich, coming off that left-hand side, coming inside, getting shots away and scoring some fantastic goals and being a really, really good presser. He's been sort of compared to a Kvaratskhelia. I kind of see it. That tall winger, really strong and likes to drive with the ball. Now, something that is really, really unique to him is his ability to hold the ball up. In my opinion, you don't see many wingers doing this. The arm comes out here, as you can see, as the ball is coming into him. He's got himself in front of that defender. The arm again holds him off. Here, the body is back. He's got his back into that defender. He has a really, really nice position, which means he can control that ball. His chest is just over his knees. Knees are bent. He's got good balance, good control. Takes a really, really nice touch in here. There, with the ball is there. And he, again, is in full control, and he has a few options. If this man hadn't fallen over, he could have tried to spin it in behind. He can try and run himself here, or he can just play a nice ball back in there. You can probably guess what he does. He tries to run inside, and if he does spin, again, look at all the space that he has made for himself in here from having that ability to hold the ball up and then bring his teammates into play. It is a good tackle from the defender. In the end, he takes a really, really nice touch here to try and get here. He's being pulled all over the place, but in the end, it does end up with him losing the ball. But that isn't the important thing. The important thing here is how he's used his body to hold that ball up and then bring his teammates in to play. Another example here, you can see his arm is out once again, holding that defender off. Uses his body, ball comes over, takes a absolutely beautiful touch to bring it down while he's got a player behind him who's probably much bigger than him, as you can see from here. Holds the man off, touches the ball down at the same time, and then bang. Low centre of gravity means he can then get away from his man. That move back, that move forward, and then he cuts inside here. Really, really nice touch again to move that ball away from the defender. Arm still there holding him off. Moves the ball away to create a yard of space, and then bang, he's inside. He's trying to get that laces touch again to move into this space here. This player here running around him helps massively. He can now then try and play a ball in here. If you come to him here, this is another example from the same game. Very, very similar. Up against the defender, using his arm, using his body to hold the defender off. As you know from the start, if you were listening, his aerial ability is really, really good, and his height is a big, big advantage. Holds the defender off and takes a really, really nice deft header to lay the ball into this man here. And then he doesn't just admire his pass, admire his header. He then turns quickly, this man in here, turns quickly into this space here, which him and his striker have created. And then he immediately wants the ball back in here for this quick 1-2. So in a matter of seconds, he has gone from holding the man off using his strength, heading the ball there, making a run in behind, and then trying to make something happen. He then can get the ball here, do his usual, come inside, or then try and go down the line. And this is so, so dangerous. If your winger has a good touch and can control that ball, hold it up, bring his teammates into play, anything can happen. Now, here, this is an example of what happens when he brings it all together. His dribbling ability, his shooting ability, his strength, and his hold-up ability. The ball comes to him here. He's on this left-hand side. Not too wide, not too narrow, but as you can see from his body position, his foot position, he wants to come inside. His shoulders are already turning inwards. That touch is coming inside to get in front of this defender in here. He then takes outside of the foot touch, which allows him, or a laces touch as well, kind of a mix between the two, which allows him to then come forwards and diagonal. So he's kind of going in between these two areas here, which is straight towards this man here, who can continue his run to create some more space for El Mala. Continues going forward. He's now decelerating because he knows there's a few defenders here. Gives him an extra millisecond to think about what he's going to do. But he's in full control at all times, as I said. Take the next one. He's coming inside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, all the time, so the defender doesn't know. He then makes his mind up here to use the laces to go down the line. Commits both these defenders here. He's sort of already out the game because he has passed him. This defender then has a choice to make. Does he stick with this man in here, or does he go with El Mala in here, here, or here? But then El Mala uses his arm again really well here. He then takes a left-footed inside of the foot touch, which gets him inside of the box, and we end up in this position here. This defender has made the run, which helps out massively, which means he can come in here. And we get in this situation in here. This defender is out of the game. All he can do now, unless it is an unbelievable tackle, is give away a penalty. So he's driven towards that box, got inside the box, and at the very minimum, he has won a penalty. From here to here, this defender body position is all over the place. He's off balance because he thought El Mala was going to go this way down the line. So he quickly takes a really nice touch here, which gets him between the two defenders. He's going to win a penalty here, or he's dragged that centre-back out, which creates much space for him. Comes in here, as you can see, there's that touch here that he takes to get into this position. Takes another outside of the foot touch. This defender, because of this player's run in here, is off balance, comes inside, gets himself into a good position. Look at all the space he now has in here to get a shot away or dribble into. Nice body position, nice shooting position in here. Uses the inside of his foot once again. The goalkeeper thinks that he's going to try and go here from the way he's driving, decelerates, and then tries to fire a shot into the near post. It is fantastic. It goes through the keeper's legs and ends up in the back of the net. So when he puts everything together, that ability to hold the man off while doing inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, his agility, his quick change of the speed, his quick change of direction, and his shooting ability, stuff like this can happen. I'd argue he is the complete winger. Yes, he's still raw, has some things to improve, but if he comes to Brighton and gets many minutes at Brighton, I would not be surprised to see them sell him on for hundreds of millions of pounds, and he will be a really dangerous player in the Premier League next season for Brighton, whoever the manager is. But that is him in a nutshell from these clips. Let's go and have a look now quickly at the tactics board to see how he could be used for Brighton next season. So Fabian Hersler sets Brighton up in a sort of 4-2-3-1 formation. However, it does look likely that he won't be at the club next season. But whoever takes over, Brighton usually appoints someone who sticks to very similar principles, very similar formation. For example, Kieran McKenna usually plays a 4-2-3-1 as well. So whoever El Mala is potentially playing under, nothing much will change. A lot of players could leave Brighton in the summer, so it's very difficult to say exactly how they will set up and how El Mala will play and who he'll play with. But if this sort of base of the squad stays the same, he'll play on that left-hand side for sure as a backup to Matoma or a replacement for Matoma. He will link up really well in here with Babiš Kostelas, in my opinion. His running ability, Kostelas, to make these runs in behind and link the play with El Mala means he'll get so many opportunities in this space in here. If you've watched Diego Gomez this season, how Brighton make the space for him and how he makes the space could be something that's really good under El Mala, and his finishing ability is better than Gomez's, so more of those missed opportunities will probably end up as a goal. He tracks back really well, which will allow Kadioglu to continue to attack down that left-hand side. A bit like what happens with Minte and Veltman. Minte's ability to come back means that Veltman, as defensive as he is, has a bit more license to come forward. Gross and Baleba in the midfield. Having this German connection in here will help as well. Brian Gruder coming back from loan from RB Leipzig as well. More Germans in the squad means he'll be able to settle better and he'll be able to have a better connection with people on the pitch. Minte, once he improves his end product, he'll be a fantastic asset to the club, or even more so than he is now, and he's putting balls in the box. El Mala at the back post could be really dangerous. Or you have Harry Howe, who's played the last few games, especially against Aston Villa. He was getting that ball, driving down the line, cutting back and putting some really dangerous crosses into this back post area where El Mala, Welbeck, Kostelas would be, and they'd have some big aerial threats in the box to try and improve their headed goals that have been lacking this season. But it is yet to be seen if El Mala does join Brighton. But if he does, him on that left-hand side could be absolutely huge for them next season. So that is it for this video on Saïd El Mala. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a lot about the young winger. Personally, I really hope Brighton get the deal over the line because he looks a huge prospect and already a fantastic talent and a brilliant player that could be the difference maker for Brighton next season if they really do want to push for European football, which is the ambitions of everyone at the club. But as I said, if you want to see next week's video on Saïd El Mala, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do whatever you want with the video, and you know the outro by now. Do it with me. Adios.